In 1650, a group of doctors in Oxford opened a coffin for an anatomy lesson. They expected to find a dead woman. Instead, they heard a sound, a faint breath, then another. The woman inside the coffin was still alive. Her name was Anne Green. She was only about 22 years old, working as a servant in England when her life took a tragic turn. According to historical accounts, Anne became pregnant after a relationship connected to her employer's household. But this was the 1600s. For a poor, unmarried woman, pregnancy could bring shame, punishment, and public judgment. Anne tried to hide what had happened. Then she gave birth to a premature baby boy. The child did not survive. But instead of being treated as a frightened young woman who had just gone through a terrible loss, Anne was accused of killing her baby. She was arrested, put on trial, and sentenced to death by hanging. The execution took place at Oxford. Anne was led to the gallows. The rope was placed around her neck. Then she was pushed from the ladder. For around half an hour, she was left there. Afterward, her body was taken down, placed in a coffin, and carried away to be used for medical teaching. To everyone, Anne Green was dead. But when the coffin was opened, the doctors noticed something strange. Her body moved. Then they heard a small sound from her throat. Anne Green was breathing. The room must have frozen. A woman who had just been executed was somehow alive. The doctors acted quickly. They warmed her, gave her care, and tried everything they could to bring her back. Slowly, Anne opened her eyes. Hours later, she was able to speak a few words. News of her survival spread quickly. Some people called it a miracle. Others believed it was a sign that she had been wrongly condemned. In the end, Anne Green was given a reprieve. She was not hanged again. She survived the gallows, left prison, and later went on to marry and have children. Her story remains one of the strangest survival cases in English history. But it is also more than a strange story. It is a reminder of how harsh the law could be toward poor women, how quickly society could judge, and how one breath inside a coffin changed the rest of a woman's life. Anne Green was sentenced to die. She was hanged. She was placed in a coffin, but somehow her story did not end there.